evening, everyone. It is June 24th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. and I'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Finance Director Katie Williamson, would you please take the roll call?
Clancy.
Here.
Gaken. Hodgkin.
Here.
Hubbard.
Here.
Moynihan. Nipper.
Here.
Prado.
Here.
Rajic.
Here.
Shaw.
Here.
Swore.
Here.
Taylor.
Here.
Wilson.
Here.
Orr. Okay, thank you.
And if you would please stand if you're able to the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And being that I am acting as Mayor Pro Tem this evening, I will now accept the nomination for Council President Pro Tem. Councilmember Prado.
For Angie.
Okay. Councilmember Francie has been nominated. Any other nominations for Council President Pro Tem? All in favor for Councilmember Francie stepping in as Council President Pro Tem, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. On to you, Councilmember Francie.
I move that we approve the agenda.
Second.
Been first and seconded. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll go ahead and open it up for public comment. Please limit it to 3 minutes. Yes.
Excuse me. Kevin Moynihan. Sorry.
There's a motion to excuse Councilmember Moynihan. Is there a second?
Second.
Been first and seconded. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Oh. Any opposed? Okay, that motion passes. And now we'll move on to public comment. Please limit yourself to 3 minutes. Provide us with your name, the ward you live in, or the city in which you reside.
Hi, I'm Ralph. I'm in Ward 4. I just wanted to share we're doing a cleanup on July 5th. Would love to invite city council members to join. It's going to be on the south side of the bridge to the west side of the Chehalis Bridge along that walkway on the Chehalis waterfront. Councilmember Francie has said he's going to join us like he has for every single other cleanup that we've done. And he's putting you all to shame. I'm just saying, come on out 11 p.m. the day after the 4th of July. Help us pick up fireworks, anything else that we see. We've got the bags courtesy of Public Works Department. Just bring enclosed shoes and some good gardening gloves, and we'll take care of the rest. We got a sharps container and everything else. So hope to see you there. That's July 5th from 11 to 1. If you're into the social media, there is a Facebook event. You can go and click on coming and get that social proof and then take lots of selfies with all of the garbage, I guess. I don't know. I just try and encourage you to come. So I think we got 5 or so people coming out so far. Would love to have some more. Specifically, council members, you all are gloriously invited. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for public comment this evening?
Les Fulton, Ward 4. At the last council meeting, you all approved the mayor signing the contract with History 98520 to manage the collection. I want to thank you very much. Tonight, we've got the next vote that needs to happen, and that is to vote to create the museum transition team and to populate that team. History 98520 has been notified that the city wants to move the collections from the steel fire resistant warehouse that the collection is in right now into the 118 building by the end of October. That means 100, less than 100 days from now, we've got to have a plan and be ready to implement. So, would appreciate it if we could get your, vote to approve tonight. Thanks.
Thank you.
Casey Morrison, Ward 1. I just wanted to, on behalf of myself, Patty Thomas, and Jim Sanas, thank the council for finally considering our direct application. That's one. And then the second thing I noticed on the agenda, I was actually kind of pleased to see that you guys are forming an AMC review committee. That's a good thing. There's a lot of antiquated stuff in our municipal code, as I'm sure most of you are aware. This also has the potential to be a little contentious with people. So my hope is that, as Council President Swore has mentioned to all of you numerous times, as far as the committees that you sit on, to please report back to the council what's happening. I hope that you would also consider that that's a benefit to the public. And so as you move forward with this review committee, I hope that you take into consideration that the public would like to know what's going on with that and you report back to us as well. Thank you.
Is there anyone else for public comment tonight? Okay, seeing none, we'll go ahead and move on to the consent agenda with Council President Pro Tem Francie.
All right, consent agenda includes the minutes from the June 10th meeting and accounts payable. Nobody accept this consent agenda.
Second.
All right, the motion's been first and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion?
One thing,
Yep.
he's got to speak up louder. I couldn't hear anything he said.
Oh, yeah, I'll try harder.
Crank your
I don't think
volume
it's
up.
like it's turned on.
That's what happens when I try to turn the volume up. Sorry.
Okay. There's been a first and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. As far as a mayor's report goes, not too much to share. I attended the State of Grace Harbor function by Greater Grace Harbor yesterday. Council member Wilson joined me there as well. It was very interesting to learn more about the changes with annual wages, what our unemployment rate is currently sitting at, the difference in taxable retail sales, and a number of other things. So more of a detailed report to come out on that at our next council meeting. Council reports. No report from you, Megan?
Nope, not today.
Any other council reports? Councilmember Nicker?
On June 12th, I went to the grand reopening of Harbor Blooms and Marnie's Pedal Pushers. They have now moved to the old color time, so please go on down. They had a great time. It was actually a 2-day grand opening. I did not know about the ribbon cutting, but. And then yesterday, I had the opportunity to give a group of students from Harbor High a tour of City Hall. We went over to the police department and over to the library. They asked some great questions. It was actually a pretty good group of kids. There was about 13 kids and 5 staff members from Harbor High.
Any other council reports? Okay. Any staff reports for us this evening?
For Marnie. All for Marnie.
All right, so as we mentioned at the last council meeting, I wanted to give you guys a quick rundown of our city's new mass notification system. That way you guys have some good information as far as if you're getting any questions and or vice versa, any questions, we can go from there. But this is something that the city did as part of our movement into doing our own emergency management and breaking away from the county, is we had to have some form platform to be able to communicate to the community in the event of an emergency or disaster. And not be able to, you know, we couldn't really rely on the county anymore with us breaking away from them. So this is going to be one of those integral things that we had to go with.
One nice thing about this is it's not just an emergency alerting platform that the city has, but it's just a general platform that we can communicate with our constituents out in the city as well. So a little bit of information on this as we go through here is, again, it's to help improve that community engagement that we have, to be able to provide good, timely information, not just in an emergency, but even just for general city information as well. So like I said, it could be either an emergency or non-emergency notifications. And that could be based on the individual themselves as they sign up to what type of alerts they want to get through this system. And it is free of charge to the citizens, free to sign up. But with anything like this, standard text messaging rates may apply, the tagline there. So with that, again, what we can send out is emergency alerts and, flood warnings, whatever might be there, general public safety issues. Maybe we've got a fire somewhere and we want to stay away from the area. General community alerts going out of activities around town. A great tool for parks activities or softball season rainouts, things of that nature. Public Works might be able to utilize it as well to, hey, we've got a broken water main over here or streets closed. Just again, just a plethora of information we're able to push out to the community. As subscribers get in, they can choose how to receive the messages. A wide array of ways to get those messages: texts, emails, regular plain old phone calls. They get information off the website, of course, and there's an app for that as well, that they're able to download the notifications and go right to their phone through the apps as well. So to sign up for it, it's a really quick, easy process. If people want to visit the city's website, that's the starter. Or if they happen to see the ad floating around on social media, snap the QR code, it'll take you right to the city's website to be able to register for it there. Not a great picture because the website's kind of big on the front end, but right under all the tiles and banners is a little blue button there, is sign up for the alert system right there. So if you're to take that, it takes you right to where you need to be. You do have to register to have an account on the website to register for the alerting system. But once you do that process, you can choose just to do this and none of the other stuff on there as well. Once you get that account, then you go through this whole process again and choose the level of notifications and what you want to have come to you. We did get a question about this at the fire department about, well, I don't really have an email. I just have my smartphone. And there is a way on here you just text, and it's on this page right here. You can just text a number or text to a general number, and you can just do it all by your phone without having to have an email address. And going through there, pretty straightforward, but just wanted to give you guys a quick overview of what the system can do for us and how we plan to use it as a city. And if there's any questions, I'd be glad to answer those, or call me later when you think of them.
It's the My Alert app.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you.
And there's links on the registration page to get to that app as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Chief Foley. Are there any other director or staff reports tonight? Okay. We'll move on to presentations. We have a presentation tonight from the Downtown Aberdeen Association by Will Russell.
Hello, everyone. I am Will Russell. Do I have to hold this down when we talk?
Nope.
It says push. So I hit a button. I want to introduce our president, which is Bobby McCracken, and our vice president, Betty Worth. You probably know them as B&B. So, oh, thank you. Well, we got a new logo. So you'll start seeing that. Next slide, please. I have more than one, I think. Okay, there we go. So some of the things we track is downtown movement. For example, if you look at the large line on top, those are the businesses that have come in and out, or into our downtown, and our downtown is 32 blocks. Most main streets are only about 6 or 8. So it's kind of an interesting, way to look at this. However, I wanted to put it up there because I do get a lot of calls and I see them on Facebook. So many businesses have closed. Bet everyone's heard that, right? So what we track are not just the ones that have closed, but we also people that retired and people that actually moved out of the area. There's a lot of retirements in our businesses. We recently had a death. That was very sad. And we also have businesses that are more office generally. They serve more of a service, not retail or restaurants. And so they ended up work. A lot of them have, some of them went home to work. So as of it is for this year, right now we had 6 new businesses move in, and I'm so glad you mentioned that the Harbor Blooms, because they did relocate to still in our downtown, and I do encourage people to go there. Many of you know that Buddy Moo's also expanded into our downtown, and so yeah, please go have some of their ice creams. And then I suppose, spoiler alert, right? Deidre's Deli, the bakery is just going to open, she hopes, on July 1st. So that will be a lot of treats down there and some places to eat. So anyone had the half-hour lunch, talk to your boss, we're giving an hour one and really support our downtown. So anyway, though, and there was 4 of them that actually closed this year. So again, I can tell you that I know all of them, and none of them actually went out of business. One, as I mentioned someone that passed away. Well, that peak is when the mall closed. And so we were able to put an incentive for businesses to move downtown. And the DAA gave a small amount of money to each business that would relocate into Aberdeen. That year we ended up with 31 businesses that moved into Aberdeen, but not all from the mall. And some of them were still here. Some of them just couldn't make it work because they were trying to do a collective and stuff like that. But that was cool. We spent a lot of time rescuing some businesses there. So I'll keep moving. You'll never see this. So I'll read some of it too. This is where I have to track my time. And so I look at this is really not about emails. This is about people I meet with, businesses I meet with. So this year, I'll just look at this year, which is the very top one. You can see some of them are much bigger at the end of the year, but this year, I've worked with 68 businesses downtown. I've had actually the same amount of consults and board meetings, 68. City, county, state, all those. I've had 36 meetings with them. Main Street and the projects that we do, I've had 111 of those meetings. And in consults, businesses, outreaches, those kind of things, I've had 26. And then speaking engagements, interviews, meeting with visitors, working with out-of-town businesses and governments. And then, believe it or not, I'm kind of your film liaison, working with the films, and there'll soon be a film coming out. I won't give you any idea what that is, but it's in the festivals now. So I've had 41 of those this year. My average, because this is incorporating since 2018, I average about 120 of these a month. And so they're not all 4-hour meetings. Some of them are just a quick thing where someone wants to talk to me at a business, or, that kind of thing in passing, or that, or any other way. I mean, we've been pretty flexible about that kind of thing. Next slide, please. All right, I want to thank the city for this, because really, you guys, given our downtown businesses what we call micro grants, and that has allowed our businesses to do things that they just didn't have the money to do. Sometimes the building owners will take care of something, and sometimes the business needs to do it. And we've come off some, it's been winter and all that kind of stuff. So they really appreciate, well, this can happen. So in 2024, we issued out 15 grants. And in 2025, we issued another 9. And so the aggregate of that is 24 of them now. Some of them are wrapping up. I'll show you some pictures in a minute. That means that the city has invested 64, well, the aggregate is 13,100. No, I'm sorry. The aggregate of that is $19,594 in micro grants to our businesses. We also do something called Lighten Up. So couple years ago, we talked about how we want to see our downtown more brighter. And so that is what we've been trying to do. We have helped, it looks like 15 projects that we got going. We have spent an aggregate of that is 1644. The cool part is that we've had Home Depot step up and save us 1,174. And so we'll hopefully can do more of that. There's actually a bunch of businesses out there that have lights, and you'd be really surprised how wonderful they're going to look when they're up. But their electrical and their roofs are bad. So I'm trying to figure out a way to help them fix those things so we can go ahead and get some more lighting up. So again, I appreciate the city. This is really you guys. Thank you, council. Thank you, Ruth, if she's listening from somewhere. Next slide. All right, these are a couple of the micro grants. You can see here on the Grand Heron, we were able to help them get those awnings on the side, also paint a lot of their building black in front. Another business that they kind of retired. Great place for another business to come in. We have some intel on that. You can look over there at the senior building. You can see there's paint on that. You can look at the Spoon building. There's paint on that. If you haven't really driven along Market Street from that block, I would encourage you to do that. That block is looking really amazing. I mean, super amazing. And I bet you there's a few people here that can agree with that. So anyway, the other one is Throwback Threads. We helped with that paint job.
Sorry about that.
I'm too slow. And then we also, some businesses just need a little sign. And so we help them do their storefront with a little decoration and a small sign. And then, as you know, we have this business in town called the Music Project. And so they've been working on so many things. So we were able to help them with what you see right there, that light lit up sign called the Unplugged. And then below that, there really should be huge pictures about this. You have to go online to find these, but History 98520 has done such an amazing job with bringing history downtown and putting in our vacant buildings and putting them in the windows. I can't tell you how many stories I've had, Aberdeen students coming down and wanting to know what it is. And unfortunately, we might have Washington State history in school, but we probably don't have Aberdeen history. And I think that's up to us, right? And you. Next slide. I'll turn this over to Betty and Bobby.
We have a little program. Good. I'll start out. So the Downtown Aberdeen Association began back in 2018, and that we were awarded a Main Street designation. And so what we have tried to do is model our acts, everything that we do with downtown, with a 4-point approach. And we'll discuss that in time, but Bobby will start with a little bit of information about Main Street 98520. There are 4 key points to the success of a Main Street organization: organization, design, economic vitality, and last but certainly not least, promotion. Promotion is the process of selling the image and promise of downtown Aberdeen to all audiences. It involves marketing the district's unique characteristics to shoppers, investors, new businesses, residents, and visitors, while forging a positive image through advertising, retail, promotional activities, special events, and marketing campaigns. Through monthly promotional campaign highlighting for local businesses like Grace Harbor Stamp, a business that has been on the harbor for close to 100 years, organizing events that draw visitors downtown like I Heart Aberdeen in February and Are You Feeling Lucky in March. In addition to creating successful events that have brought visitors downtown, the promotion committee recognized the importance of supporting businesses that form the heart of Aberdeen's downtown district. Sorry. To encourage communication, collaboration, and mutual support, the 98520 Roundtable was established as a monthly gathering place where business owners come together to share ideas, discuss challenges, celebrate successes, and learn from one another. And these pictures are from some of those meetings where businesses and legislators come together and share ideas.
I think the middle one was done at the police department. Thanks to the police department during COVID, we had all of our meetings there. We really appreciate
Really appreciate that.
The roundtable quickly became a valuable forum for strengthening relationships with the business community and fostering a spirit of cooperation among downtown stakeholders.
Bobby mentioned, local civic leaders, elected officials, and community partners were also invited to participate, providing business owners with opportunities to voice concerns, ask questions, and engage directly with decision makers. These conversations helped build stronger partnerships, created a greater understanding of the needs and opportunities facing downtown. So it was really nice whether they, people came on through Zoom or attended. We always had our police officers there. Occasionally, we would have people represented from our city. Most of the time, we had realtors there. And then we also had businesses. Most recently, we're starting to feature a business. They come and they talk about their successes, their difficulties, their challenges, and then the other businesses and other people there kind of give some input and what they can do to possibly help. Another thing that our downtown association has done is recognizing that starting a relocating business can be a complex process. And our committee or our downtown developed a welcome packet for new and prospective owners. The packet was designed to serve as practical resource, providing information about available services, permitting processes, local contacts, business support, organizations, and opportunities to become involved in downtown events and activities like 98520. So together, the 98520 roundtable and welcome packet, and everyone, city council, everyone is invited to that meeting. They get a MailChimp every month inviting them to that meeting, whether it's the city council members, members of our local legislature. So if you aren't on that list, please let us know and we'll make sure that you get on that list. So we create a welcoming and supportive environment for businesses, encouraging investment and strengthening Aberdeen's downtown business community. Another thing that we have done is partner with the city on some events. An event that was done by the Parks and Rec for years was spectacular. And they asked us to take that event over. And so with the support of the downtown businesses, it's usually the last Saturday before Halloween, you'll see all these kids in costumes in front of businesses and lots of candy's been delivered. So we thank that opportunity to work with the city in with that. And our most recent partnership with the city, and not actually partnership, taking over an event is Splash. It is obvious or evident that there weren't the funds to do it. I guess that there's the diminishing amount of people attending Splash. And so they approached us to see if the Downtown Aberdeen Association would do that. So we've changed the name. It's now called Red, White, and Blue. It's taking place in downtown Aberdeen on the 4th of July from 11 to 4. You've got a flyer in front of you. If you are not doing anything between 11 and 4, come on down. There will be carnival-like games, food vendors, live music, a classic car show, culminating with spectacular firework display celebrating our nation's 250th birthday. And the firework display is being hosted or sponsored by 5 Star, which they have done over the last, I don't know how many years, at Morrison Park.
I kind of think your slides are going to keep coming up, but let me just say something about the 98520 work roundtable is that everyone has a voice there. Betty and Bobby run it. It's kind of like what you did public comment. You have to kind of get through some of this stuff, but there's been some wonderful moments in there for like, we want a new project for, we want to think like, do we want to do this in our town? And so we have businesses and other people feed into us as to what is the priority, what should we do? And so that gives us a little bit of groundswell, if you will. And I think that's really important. I mean, there's many of you in this room that's been to those meetings. And the other part about it is too, is that like the police, one of the things that I love about it is every time we have an official like you, or the police or anyone that comes there that runs this city, it gives people like us so much information. Because we have the visitors showing up. We have the phone calls that say, what are we doing this for? You know, and so a lot of times we're able to do that. And, you know, I just wish everybody in Aberdeen would like do the same thing with their Facebook and not put all that negative stuff on her, because we spend a lot of time having to like explain these things to folks, and we've lost businesses. If you're out there listening to me right now, I can tell you businesses that moved to somewhere else because of what they saw on Facebook. So please love Aberdeen like we do. I think you're still up.
Yeah, we do some crazy things. So
We like costumes.
with the success of Winterfest during its first 2 years and encouragement from Washington Main Street program to develop an additional signature event, plans began for a Summerfest celebration that would bring families and visitors downtown during warmer months. The result was the creation of Summerfest 2018, a good old-fashioned family event held on August 11th, designed to showcase downtown Aberdeen businesses while providing a free family event. The event combined shopping, community engagement, and classic summertime fun. The day began at the Arts Center, where participants picked up a map identifying 30 downtown businesses taking part in a community-wide scavenger hunt. Downtown merchants also hosted sidewalk sales, creating additional opportunities for visitors to shop and explore local businesses. The inaugural Summerfest was successfully established what would become another beloved downtown tradition, demonstrating the community's desire for family-centered events that celebrated both downtown businesses and hometown pride. And attendance and interest grew. Organizers looked for ways to expand the event and attract visitors from outside the area. Inspired by the popularity of Western-themed festivals, Summerfest evolved into Summerfest Goes West, bringing a new level of excitement and regional appeal to downtown Aberdeen. The addition of a barbecue competition featuring a $3,500 prize purse became a major attraction and drew competitors from across the Pacific Northwest. Food vendors, craft vendors, live music, barbecue tasting, raffle drawings, and family activities transformed the event into a full-day destination. Over the years, new attractions were added, including a cribbage tournament, classic car show, magicians, dancers, jugglers, and other live entertainment. Some of that is Betty and barbecue competition. Attendance has averaged approximately 2,500 people annually, making Summerfest one of downtown Aberdeen's largest community events. Thanks to the generous support of sponsors, donations, vendors, and competition registration fees and lodging tax committee funding, Summerfest has remained financially self-sustaining while continuing to provide a free and welcoming experience for the community. What began as a simple scavenger hunt and an afternoon in the park has grown into an annual event that celebrates community, supports local businesses, and showcases the welcoming spirit of downtown Aberdeen. Slide.
So we spoke about spectacular and, oh, I'm sorry. We spoke about spectacular, and there's a picture of us in our outfits at the museum, and that's where we housed it before. Let me see some other. I think most of that is spectacular. Okay, next slide. And then our other event that we do is called Winterfest. Winterfest was created to kick off the holiday season on the first Friday in December and to foster community pride and excitement through the downtown corridor, while Aberdeen had long celebrated summer traditions such as Founder's Day and Splash. Community leaders recognized the need for a signature winter event that would bring families, visitors, and shoppers downtown during the holiday season. In 2016, Winterfest was born out of a desire to build upon the annual Christmas tree lighting at Selasper Park and Santa's arrival on a fire. From the beginning, the vision was to capture the charm of an old-fashioned Christmas. Strolling carolers wandered the streets while downtown businesses kept their doors open late to welcome visitors and encourage holiday shopping. The event quickly became a community favorite. I want to emphasize both with Summerfest, Winterfest, and all the things that we do, it's to support the downtown businesses and encourage people to go down and see what we got. A number of people didn't even know some of those businesses existed. So that's another thing that we try to do. The following year, we had live reindeer were added to the festivities along with prize drawing featuring gifts donated by local businesses. These additions encourage families to explore downtown and visit participating merchants. In 2018, when Aberdeen became a designated Main Street community through the Washington Street Main Street program, Winterfest expanded into a 2-day celebration. New attractions included Santa's arrival on Friday evening, breakfast with Santa on Saturday morning, a gingerbread house competition, and a holiday market featuring local vendors and artisans. Over the years, Winterfest has continued to evolve with new activities designed to enhance the holiday experience. These additions have included a trolley tour showcasing Christmas lights throughout the community and a co-sponsored holiday musical event at Grace Harbor College. Thanks to support from the Lodging Tax Advisory Committee, grants from the Windermere Foundation, and sponsorships from Grace Harbor Title Company, Breakfast with Santa has been offered free of charge to children aged 12 and under. These partnerships have also enabled Winterfest to award cash prizes to participants in the gingerbread house competition, encouraging creativity and community development. Today, Winterfest remains one of downtown Aberdeen's signature events. Guided by the mission of the Downtown Aberdeen Association, the celebration provides a free, family-friendly holiday experience that brings people together, supports local businesses, and creates lasting Christmas memories for residents and visitors alike. Over the past decade, Winterfest has grown from a simple tree lighting celebration into a cherished community tradition, attracting thousands of residents and visitors to downtown Aberdeen. Through creative programming, strategic partnerships, volunteer engagement, and consistent promotion, the event has strengthened Aberdeen's identity as a welcoming and vibrant destination during the holiday season. As co-chair of the promotion committee, Bobby and I have been proud to help lead and grow Winterfest while advancing the goals of the Main Street program by creating memorable experiences, encouraging downtown commerce, and fostering community pride. We believe our efforts have successfully fulfilled the mission of the Main Street promotion and contributed to the ongoing revitalization of downtown Aberdeen. Thank you.
Hard to cover everything we do in a little presentation, so I do invite you guys to those roundtables. So real quick too, some of these festivals that we've done, just so you know, I was there at Summerfest when we had some people visiting and stopped on their way to the ocean, and they said, I'd like to learn more about this town. And so they did end up buying a house here. And then we had one of our barbecuers decide he wanted to go into business. So he went into business. So I think there's more to just having fun, although we want to have fun. Right here, this is the first tour. As you know, in the past, we've offered a lot of historical tours, especially with the help of other people like Phil Slepp and the History 98520 group. So we did this in combination with the History 98520 group, so we could look at the murals that they put up and talk about our city. And we ended up going ahead and getting back inside the Becker and did a tour of that and got on the roof. And that was a lot of fun for people in our town. And, I think those are the things that build community, right? You build community, people come downtown, it benefits everyone. So, yeah, we did another one, which you can't see on here. We just got done with it. It was about our critters. And that went over very well. In both of these tours, we had people from out of town that came here. I can tell you that afterward, I asked people what they think, and I have heard it both times. They had no idea the amount of history and the little things in Aberdeen that suddenly bring out the charm. And if you don't know what those are, you should go on one of these tours, because I can show you some stuff, or anyone that's been on these tours. The other thing too is we give away gift certificates from who? Our businesses. You should know that we hardly ever, I don't think our principles, we don't ask our businesses for money. They don't support DAA. What we do is we support them. And so we launched them a business, And then we have a drawing at the business, especially if there's a new one out there, like Lumens over there. All right, next slide. All right, so I want to say, and probably they're going to want to talk too, but I'm the only staff. Now, at some point, there's only so much a guy can do in 8 to 10 hours a day. So I'm sure all of you are in that world. The rest of it is dependent on volunteers. So we have a lot of good ideas come in, and when they do come in, we got to say, well, what do we do with this? Do we want to do that? And if so, what do we let go? It's just not a big funnel of ideas and a big funnel going out, and let's just do all these things. So I think it's very important. The other part I want to say is this, as a board that's been around for quite a while, we want new board members. We want fresh ideas. We want people that are committed. How you can get there is to show up and do some volunteering so we can see where your heart is and get to know you. It's kind of like, it's an important position to our city and to who we are and who we're going to be in the future. We've had board members that say, hey, I'll just join your board, and then never saw them again. So again, they might pick up a project, especially one that I might have posted that we're going to do. And then guess what? It can't happen because they didn't want to see it through. That's tough. That's a really tough thing. So I've learned my lesson. I don't want to talk about the things we're going to do. I want to talk about the things we have done. If you want to know what we're going to do, come to one of the 985 meetings and we'll talk there. Do you guys want to continue this? Well, I'll tell you, so we do have these appreciation parties like that. And sometimes we select a volunteer of the year. And, I got to say one last thing about that. Some of you that want to volunteer, you're thinking, hey, I'm not going to go to all those meetings. What you can do is show up the day of. Just kind of let us know who you are. So we know that we can count on you to help us with the garbage or for setting up stuff or running rock stars down an alley. We've done a lot of crazy stuff. All right, next slide. Oh, by the way, you can learn more. If you want to volunteer, just go to our website, which you'll see in a minute, and there's a place for you to do that. Value to downtown, right? So we get $60,000, maybe a little bit more than that now from the city every year. In return, I can't see that, so I'm going to read off of mine. We invested this year already $24,576 right back into downtown. That's buying things here, renting from people here, being able to do those kinds of things with Aberdeen. Our priority is to shop first in Aberdeen. If we don't have it, then we go to the county. If the county don't have it, then we'll go further out. We don't just quickly order something from Portland. And then you should just know this, since 2018, we've invested in real dollars, $608,000 and $811. So that's a lot of money going back into here. So do your math. Tell me what you think. If you're giving us $60-some thousand a year, do you have a good return? If you don't think so, then these projects that the city has asked us to do, like these spectacular other things that our volunteers do, that's value to downtown. Do you want to know how much value that is to downtown? You'll have to report out on it. So this year, we've already given in our hours, 754 hours of volunteer time. That's $26,232 in value. Over the years, 31,842 hours. That's $993,734. Altogether, the money and the value that we put back into Aberdeen is now $1.6 million. I'm going to tell you, if that doesn't deserve a hats off to volunteers and the people that are in Aberdeen, and some of you have volunteered, I know who you are, and I'm telling you what, that is, if you didn't have that, then one of you can run Spectacular again, and you can run these other festivals. All right, so let's go to the next slide. We do get some awards and recognitions. I think they get them all. I'm lucky to have been part of a couple of them, but one of those you should just know, it's not about me. It's not about them. It's about Cantons. Why? Does anyone know? They're the oldest family-run restaurant in our state, right? People come just to sit there, right? Sometimes they come there to see where Kurt and Chris used to sit, or other people. But yeah, I have their menus from when they used to have a 3-digit phone number. They have the same food. It's a family-ran business, right? So I have to say, I love that kind of stuff. Go ahead to the next one, please. All right, so on our board, these are our board members. And you see Bobby Betty, and you see Danny Bacon, and you see Anthony Elders, our treasurer. You also see the mayor, Doug R. We've always had a city rep on every one of our board meetings if they get long as they can attend one. So your mayor or your previous councilman have sat in every board meeting to give us an opinion on what we do and if we're doing something right, if we're doing something wrong. However, they've never been able to vote. Why is that? I would ask you to consider council someday. You know, I think you guys have great ideas. You should be able to help vote for something like that. We certainly get very schooled up on what the mayor wants to do, and we love it. And he's been very supportive, but you know, he can't vote. So if there's an ethics issue here, and maybe that's what it is. But I also want to say, you know, I've heard people say, why can't they vote? So I said, well, today I will ask you guys that. So sometime let me know. Next slide. All right, so there's other things that we do, and you know what? Founders Day, it's I think it's the last Grand Marshal, and I do what I love to do. I gave a girl there a ukulele that showed up, and I got such a fancy ride and such a fancy car. Thank you, Betty Worth. All right, and then but I want to point out something too. This is just not part of our program. This is just because of who we are. We since 2024, we have now given 359 instruments back to our community. And if you don't know what that means, then you don't have a child going to school looking for a trumpet. Next slide. All right, I volunteer to do stuff like this. This is I don't know if you knew about this. This was a showcase right here in our town to take 7 of our best songwriters. I didn't pick them. And so put them in here. Those are people from the industry, Nashville, Texas, all these labels. So I have to tell you, the girl standing up right there right now, she signed a record deal. She's moving to Texas. I have another guy that's on stage in there, and he is just went to a Midwest tour with a Jelly Rolls family, and now they're going to come to a different band on the West Coast here. And so one of our people, one of your kids. And then there's one more on there right now looking at a modeling contract and also a record deal. I don't know, maybe that's a big deal to you, but I got to say, that's hope. That is something Aberdeen can get offer our youth, and that's a story. Next slide. And this made it through, I don't know how many Indian nations. Our first families are important to us. So when that band in the background came to our town, they were the first Native American band to have been signed to a commercial label since I don't even know how long. Well, when a tribe nation band comes to your area, guess what you do? It's a government to government, right? We understand what that is. Maybe people in the community don't know what that is, but that's respect. And so that happened to be a commissioner, your city administrator, myself, and we did the gift exchanges, and that got picked up on many, many of our Indian families across the nation. That's important. It's very important. And I think that I'm happy we recognize that stuff. One more slide, I think. All right, not everybody gets this picture, but you know, Dale totally arranged it. So that's a really fun thing, right? I think the police get a lot of hard comments to them. But you know what? This is something cool. When you go on a tour at the police station, you'll probably see this, right? I love that. So I'm going to tell you, as much fun as we're having here, I'm going to say a couple quick words. One, I love this town, and I've invested a lot of my time and away from my family, as you probably know. So I'm here to tell you that I can't do this forever. I've been waiting to retire for a while. I thought I was going to do it a couple years ago. I said I'll do it this year, and I didn't. And so my board, I respect my board. They have put we wouldn't have an agency without these two ladies and other people on our board. And so I said I would work till my birthday of 2028. So that's March 29th, 2028. That doesn't mean I need to be full time. It just means I need to start thinking about a succession plan. I don't want to get ahead of my board, but I think if this is valuable work, then I think we should be figuring out how to continue it. And whoever the next director is, they need to be a cheerleader They need to know about our town. They be able to refer people from Florida where the big tree is up the woods. I mean, they have to know the area because they will come. And they also have to work with celebrities and they're not always the easiest, but I'll let it go there. That's down the road. I wanted to say right now, if I don't happen to be back up here again, thank you, Aberdeen, for the opportunity in my life. Thank you for, I have so many people in my life now that I consider friends. They're not all Facebook friends. They're really friends. And I got a lot of good golfing partners. And yeah, maybe you notice I cut my hair because, you know, I need to like not be known for a while. So I let that go. All right. Do you have any questions? I know we've taken up a lot of your time, but if you can't get it answered, will you come to one of our roundtables and let's talk. Thank you very much for your opportunity.
Thank you very much, Will and Betty and Bobby, for that very informative presentation on downtown Aberdeen. I think there were a lot of numbers in there that many of us were curious about. Did you have a question?
Yeah. Want to say thank you for doing the blue team. Really appreciate it. I've had kind of an idea about something. What if we could get
We like
a
ideas.
downtown business cleanup competition?
You know, you're not the only one. We had some people from out of town that came to a walking thing. We were just talking about how we could do this. And I know that Betty's going to say that you can come to the Bloom team parts of it, and they do regular cleanups. I actually have students that do, or people that need to do community time, and I'll track their hours for them. So we'll do kind of actually. Let me just say one last thing, Betty, and then you take over. You know, those pink flowers are just no longer in Aberdeen, right? Other cities are doing the same thing. And I think WashDOT decided to just give us an entranceway for miles of pink flowers. So WashDOT, maybe Rick can send them a thank you card.
Josh, just FYI,
Mhm.
we used to have cleanup twice a year. And it was on the weekend. And so we would have competition, not necessarily competitions, but we'd have cleanups and nonprofits would come downtown, Rotary, Lions, you name it, they be assigned to a block. When funding became tight, they could not pay overtime to some of their employees. And so instead of doing it on the weekend, it was that the cleanup was then the Bloom team pretty much takes care of the cleanup. And when we meet twice a month from May to September, we do the cleanup then, and we do it in October as well. And it's done on Tuesdays. And the city employees help us on our Parks and Rec, help us on those Tuesdays, but it used to be a lot bigger. I mean, we had Comcast Day where we had 200 or 300 people downtown cleaning up.
Any other questions? Thank you again for that presentation. We'll go ahead and move on to requests for council action. We'll start with finance with Chairperson Fredo.
We are requesting the city council host a public hearing to receive public testimony regarding the ordinance establishing lift assistance penalties at licensed healthcare facilities and extending utility rate discount programs to the ambulance and emergency medical services utility. Bill number 26-11. I'd like to make a motion that we open this public hearing.
Second.
The motion has been first and seconded to open the public hearing. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The public hearing is now open in relation to the lift assist penalties at licensed healthcare facilities and extending the utility rate discount program. Seeing no comment. I'll take a motion to close the public hearing.
I'd like to make a motion to have the second reading as the third reading. Or do I have to wait for you first?
You gotta wait
I'm
a
sorry.
little bit more in the world first.
Second.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Okay, it's been first and seconded to close the public hearing. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is now closed.
I'd like to make a motion to count the second reading as the third reading.
I think you
We're
have
not
to
to
do
the
that.
second. We have two more public hearings.
Let's see. Okay, next. Requesting the city council host a public hearing to receive public testimony regarding the amended ordinance for AMC 1380-130 and the ambulance bill charity program, bill number 26-05. I'd like to make a motion that we open the public hearing.
Second.
Been first and seconded to open the public hearing to receive public testimony regarding the amended ordinance for AMC 1380-130. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Public hearing is now open. Seeing no comment, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to close the public hearing. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Public hearing is now closed.
Okay, C. Requesting that the city council host a public hearing to receive public testimony regarding the amended ordinance to amend AMC 13.64 low-income senior citizens rate remission to include low-income disabled citizens. Bill number 26-10. I'd like to make a motion to open public hearing.
Second.
It's been first and seconded to open a public hearing related to the amendments to AMC 13.64 for low-income senior citizens rate remission and to include the low-income disabled citizens. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Public hearing is now open.
Because they keep repeating when we go.
Sure, whoever just hopped in didn't have a comment for the public hearings.
Yeah, there's two people online that keep.
Okay, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to close the public hearing. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Public hearing is now closed.
Now,
Now you've had 3 second readings.
oh, sorry, just read. Okay, second reading, requesting the city council approve an ordinance establishing lift assistance penalties at licensed healthcare facilities and extending utility rate discount programs to the ambulance and emergency medical services utility bill number 26-11.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept the second reading for bill number 26-11. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Second reading passes.
Second reading, requesting the city council adopt the amended ordinance for AMC 13.80.130 regarding the ambulance bill charity program, bill number 26-05. Make
Motion to approve.
motion to approve.
I'll second.
It's been first and seconded to approve the second reading of bill number 26-05. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries from the second reading of bill 26-05.
Okay. Second reading, requesting the city council adopt an ordinance to amend AMC 13.64 low-income senior citizens rate remission to include low-income disabled citizen. Bill number 26-10. I'd like to make approve this.
Second.
It's been first and seconded to accept the second reading of bill 26-10. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Second reading of Bill 26-10 passes.
At home,
Each one individually, if you like.
each one individual. I'd like to make a motion to count this second reading of requesting the city council approve an ordinance establishing lift assistance penalties at licensed healthcare facilities and extending utility rate discount programs to the ambulance and emergency medical services utility, and make a motion to count this second reading as the third.
Second.
It's been first and seconded to take the second reading of Bill 26-11 as the third reading. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Roll call.
Aye.
Third reading is a roll call. Thank you for that.
I can tell you.
Francie,
Yes.
Gaken,
Yes.
Hodgkin,
Yeah.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Nipper,
Yes.
Fredo,
Yes.
Radrick,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Swore.
Does not get to vote tonight.
Oh, that's right. Taylor,
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Okay, it passes.
On the second reading, requesting the city council adopt the amended ordinance for AMC 13.80.130 regarding the ambulance bill charity program, bill number 26-05. I'd like to make the second reading count as the third reading.
Second.
It's been first and seconded to accept the second reading of Bill 26-05 as the third reading. Is there any discussion? Just a roll call vote on this one as well, please.
Francie,
Yes.
Hodgkin.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I missed Gaken,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Nipper,
Yes.
Fredo,
Yes.
Radrick,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yeah.
Wilson.
Yes.
This passes.
That's one more. Second reading, requesting the city council adopt the ordinance to amend AMC 13-64 low-income senior citizens rate remission to include low-income disabled citizens, bill number 26-10. I'd like to make a motion to count the second reading as the third reading.
Second.
It's been first and seconded to take the second reading of Bill 26-10 as the third reading. Is there any discussion? The third roll call vote, please.
Francie,
Yes.
Gaken,
Yes.
Hodgkin.
Yeah.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Nipper,
Yes.
Fredo,
Yes.
Radrick,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yeah.
Wilson.
Yes.
Okay, this passes.
Thank you very much. Is that all from finance? Consultation further? The next we'll move on to public safety with Councilperson Hubbard. Although with you being online, I assume Councilmember Nipper will be giving our report this evening.
Yeah. That is correct.
Thank you.
All right, just a few updates from the fire department before I get to the agenda items. The summer fire program only has 5 students this year, so it allows them to be able to get a little more one-on-one. And they still currently have no vacancies, and just kind of a little change to some of the laws since June 11th, that any bikes that exceed 750 watts are now considered e-bikes. Our report for tonight, request recommending the city council approve the 2026 to 2028 EMS agreement between the city of Aberdeen and the city of Cosmopolis. I move that we accept this report.
Second.
And it's been first and seconded to approve the request for city council to approve the 2026 through 2028 EMS agreement between the city of Aberdeen and the city of Cosmopolis. Is there any discussion?
Yes.
Councilperson Shaw.
Since we've
Batted this around, I just want to make sure and thank Chief Golding for making sure that he did the work to bring this in alignment with Aberdeen's other EMS rates, so that we understand that Posey is paying the same as the citizens of Aberdeen. And I appreciate the work that went into that.
Thank you.
Any other discussion?
And then just a couple of side points on this agreement for you guys, just so you know, we're at the process, and it's a little different than our previous agreements. Usually our agreements are 1 year. We do have 1 2-year one out there. We're running this one out to run in conjunction with our current rate structure that expires at the end of 28. So this kind of locks us into them being lockstep with the city of Aberdeen as far as rates go through this rate cycle. Although, there is also the ability to amend that down the road if, that opportunity arises or if we see fit. And then also just, we are kind of, I don't want to say jumping the gun on this, that's not really the right term, but we're approving this first on our side while Cosmopolis still ties up some loose ends on their end. So it's ready to go for them in July for their July meeting for it to be active, retroactive to July 1. So.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Chief.
Did you add the amendment in? There was a typo in the actual agreement that said the invoices was going to be on the 50th of each month instead of.
Ooh, that's the sneaky way.
I think it's never the 50th.
We probably need a amendment to change that one word, which would make it more, billable.
It was moved, can we?
Second.
Thank you. It was moved and seconded to strike the word 50th from the contract agreement and change it to 15th. Is there any discussion on the amendment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I think the amendment passes.
Thank you, Chief.
Since we've made an amendment, we do need a follow-up motion to approve as amended.
I move that we approve the request recommending the city council approve the 2026 to 2028 EMS agreement between the city of Aberdeen and the city of Cosmopolis as amended.
Second.
It's been first and seconded to approve the 2026-2028 EMS agreement between the city of Aberdeen and city of Cosmopolis as amended. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? That motion passes.
And then we have one ordinance. This will be the first reading, requesting the city council approve an ordinance amending AMC chapter 12.04 to establish new sections relating to a temporary alley closure program for protection of public health, safety, and welfare. Bill number 26-09. I move that we accept this ordinance.
Second.
It's been first and seconded to accept the first reading of bill number 26-09 related to temporary alley closure programs. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? First reading of bill 26-09 is passed. Moving on to Public Works. Councilperson Francie.
All right, Public Works earlier today. I had very good discussions in the meeting. We've got a lot of agenda items here to put up to 8, so I'll just get into it. First report is a request recommending the city council authorize the Aberdeen Railroad corridor crossing elimination and safety improvement study award authorization. I move that we accept this.
Second.
It's been first and seconded for the city council to authorize the Aberdeen Railroad Corridor Crossing Elimination and Safety Improvement Study Award authorization. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
All right, our second item is a request recommending city council authorize the public works director to sign FEMA agreement 4906-DR-WA for obtaining federal and state emergency and disaster assistance funds. Move for the acceptance.
Second.
It's been first and seconded to authorize the Public Works Director to sign the FEMA Agreement 4906-DR-WA. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
All right, now we're down to public hearing. The first one is requesting city council host a public hearing to receive public testimony regarding the franchise agreement with Forge Fibers 37 from LLC, and it's Bill 26-12. Move that we open this public hearing.
Second.
It's been first and seconded to open a public hearing regarding the franchise agreement with Forged Fiber 37, Bill 26-12. Is there any discussion?
Yes. In reading this, I brought out some questions that went to yourself and,
Councilmember Shaw,
yes,
this is related to the public hearing. We'll still have comments for the second reading if you'd like to save those for that.
but do we host a hearing when we have an anticipatory change to the material expected?
That would still come up at the
All
second
right,
reading.
thank you.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Public hearing is now open. For any comments related to the Forged Fiber contract? Not seeing any comments, I'll entertain a motion to close.
So moved.
Second.
It's been first and seconded to close the public hearing. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Public hearing is now closed.
All right, next public hearing is requesting city council host a public hearing to receive public testimony regarding Title 17 zoning code amendments. And move that we open this public hearing.
Second.
It's been first and seconded to open a public hearing regarding the Title 17 zoning code amendments, Bill 26-07. Is there any discussion?
This is in regard to updates to fencing.
That is correct. Seeing no other discussion, all in favor of opening the public hearing?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Public hearing for Bill 26-07 is now open. Not seeing any comments, I'll entertain a motion to close.
So moved.
Second.
It's been first and seconded to close the hearing related to Bill 26-07. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Public hearing is now closed.
All right, now we're down to ordinance and resolution. First one is the second reading requesting city council approval of the franchise agreement with Forge Fibers 37 on LLC. Bill 26-08. And we accept this request.
Second.
It's been first and seconded to accept the second reading of Bill 26-08. Is there any discussion?
Yes, is it time now?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. I'm jumping the gun here, but there was questions that came out in review in reading this that went to Director Sanger and yourself and received feedback from our city's attorney. My reading of that feedback reflects the fact that that agreement probably will need to be changed, updated. And so I'd like to, I personally, this is a very interesting agreement. I did some research on it and I can't support going forward with it at this time. It's granting unclassified, undocumented franchise rights. And we either need to have those documented or we need to have the fact that there are not existing rights documented either way. And I believe that was agreed to as an idea by the attorney. So I can't vote for it. I think it's not a problematic activity for us to do, But going forward, we need to be really clear. This is a new agency, a new company that's taking on a position that was held by several other telecom companies. And at the end of the day, they weren't required to have a franchise agreement under state law because they operate across the state. This is just for Aberdeen, so they're required to have a franchise agreement. So we're starting from whole cloth. And I think we really have to understand what we're granting or not granting.
Any other discussion? All in favor of accepting the second reading of Bill 26-08, please say aye. Any opposed?
No.
You do a roll call vote.
That's fine. Francie?
Yeah.
Gaken?
Yes.
Hodgkin?
No.
Hubbard?
No.
Nipper?
No.
Prado?
Yes.
Ragic?
No.
Shaw?
No.
Taylor? Wilson?
No.
Okay, we have 3 yeses and 7 nos, so this motion does not pass.
Thank you.
Okay, our next item is the second reading requesting city council approval of Title 17 zoning code amendments, Bill 26-07. Move that we accept this reading.
Second.
It's been first and seconded to accept the second reading of Bill 26-07. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Second reading passes.
Now we're down to C, recommending, a request recommending city council approval of the resolution designating authorized representatives for purposes of obtaining federal and or state emergency or disaster assistance funds. It's resolution 2026-24, and move that we accept this request.
Been first and seconded to accept the request for city council to approve the resolution designating authorized representatives for purposes of obtaining federal and or state emergency or disaster assistance funds. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution 2026-24 passes.
Okay, and our last item is a discussion regarding the vacant building code revision. I open the floor to Lisa Scott. Josh.
Thank you. So we brought this forward as a discussion item after the last council meeting where we brought up the needle exchange. So we figured it was beneficial to have this as a discussion item before bringing the first reading forward of the ordinance change. This has been a passionate item for many of you on council as well as the community. And I'm gonna turn this over to Josh Paget, our building official, who's done a wonderful job. This is kind of his baby and his program, and he can go into a little bit more detail. But what we're looking from you is conversation tonight. If you've read this, hopefully you have some suggestions that you'd like to add. You like it the way it is. One of the things that will accompany the first reading will also be a fee resolution. All of our fees are set by resolution. If we do want to establish fees for this program. But again, Josh will be happy to answer any questions that you may have and maybe walk you through a little bit of the program.
Yeah, so pretty much I know the last 3 years we've had the vacant commercial building program, and it's aided in creating communication with some of these property owners to get some movement, but not fast enough from what I've heard. So we're changing it to vacant property registration, which encompasses all of Aberdeen, and we're moving it back into the property maintenance code, which is a lot stricter. And then I've actually revised the penalties where it kind of allows code enforcement to issue fines if compliance isn't met. It's kind of what we've done with this new ordinance. If you have any questions?
Could you elaborate a little bit on how that will change regarding the fines that they would get if they're not maintaining their property?
So right now it was just registration, and then if they didn't register, I would go into the unfit buildings and structures code, which takes years. With code enforcement under 1808, which is the nuisance code, and then the penalties for that goes to 1.12, which allows a daily fine. So it's a lot stricter, and working with code enforcement every day. Generally, when they send you a letter saying that they're going to fine you daily, they get a lot faster compliance than I do. So that's kind of what we're hoping for, is to get some quicker compliance. Best results is that, you know, the building owners, whether it's a residential home, an undeveloped lot, or a commercial building, with the new ordinance and the registrations, they'll start complying a little faster and kind of work with us better to get some more compliance and get stuff done faster.
Because I've asked about this a number of times, you know, and I was told a number of times that you can't find someone who has a vacant building for the building being vacant. But of course, what we're concerned about as a council is that things are maintained. You know, so obviously there is something that we can do to, you know, try to get these building owners to maintain their buildings.
Which, yeah, the fines won't be because they're vacant. The fines will be because of
They're not maintained.
They're,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, good, great. I'm all for that.
I can say I like these changes. I think.
Appreciate it.
I'm just gonna echo the same. I think you did a great job on that, Josh. Thank you.
Josh, thank you. Excellent work.
As far as, you don't necessarily have to answer, but as far as the compliance and upkeep goes, do you think this is going to require more of your time or additional staff time? Or like, how are people going to check in and say like, hey, I'm in compliance, or how does that process work?
I mean, we already have cases started on these, so we'll do site inspections. If they don't comply, it will create a little bit more paperwork for code enforcement if it gets to that point where they send their letters regarding fines, because they'll have to send 3 letters prior to them being able to start fining. Okay, so it's a little bit more paperwork, but it ends up, you know, code enforcement, so.
Awesome. Thank you.
We will go ahead and stick with Council President Pro Tem Francie for our special committee items.
We've got 2 reports, request recommending city council allow the department heads to enter a contract with Teamsters upon acceptance. Move that we accept this report.
Second.
It's been first and seconded to approve the request recommending city council allow the department heads to enter a contract with Teamsters upon acceptance. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Okay, our second item is the request recommending city council adopt the reclassification of the parks director salary. Move that we accept this request.
Second.
It's been first and seconded to accept the request recommending city council adopt the reclassification of the parks director salary. Is there any discussion? First in favor?
I was under the impression that we were going to do without the parks director.
HR Director Danny Smith is not with us this evening, but as the other person that attended that meeting, I think the effort behind doing this is to better align the salary with things further away from the I-5 corridor, should we ever look to rehire that position. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Okay. Not sure how about this part. We have a number of appointments.
Just do the first group and then the second group.
Okay, For the Museum Transition Committee, it'll be Councilmember John Shaw, Councilmember Joshua Francie, Ruth Hamilton from History 98520, Wes Bolton, also from History 98520, George Donovan, local historian, and John Higgins, former safety historian.
Need a motion to approve the appointments.
Okay, I move that we approve these appointments.
Second.
It's been first and seconded to approve the appointments to the Museum Transition Committee. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes.
So our second one is the Utility Rate Advisory Committee. Casey Ann Morrison, Jim Simmons, and Patty Thomas.
Need a motion.
Motion to approve?
Yes.
Second.
I believe the motion came from Councilmember Hodgkin. Is there a second?
Second.
Been first and seconded to approve the appointments to the Utility Rate Advisory Committee. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
No.
Director Williamson, would you mind doing a roll call vote on this one as well, please?
Francie,
No.
Aiken,
Yes.
Hodgkin,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Nipper,
Yes.
Prado,
No.
Ragic,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Wilson,
No.
we have 7 yeses, so the motion passes.
Okay, and we have two resolutions. We've got a request recommending the city council approve the creation and appointments to the Museum Transition Committee by resolution. That's resolution 2026-25. I'm going to bid we accept this.
Second.
It's been first and seconded to approve the resolution establishing the Museum Transition Committee. This will be resolution 2026-25. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
All right, we've got a request recommending city council approve the creation of the AMC Review Committee. It's resolution 2026-26. Will we accept this?
Second.
It's been first and seconded to approve the request recommending the city council approve the creation of the AMC Review Committee. It's resolution 2026-26. Is there any discussion? Would it be okay with all of you if I made a comment here?
Yeah.
This is a project that I've been working on for quite a few weeks now. I'm excited to see it take off. The initial appointments were listed in the full packet of the agenda. It will include myself, Councilmember Shaw, Councilmember Hubbard, and Councilmember Ragic. And the full breakdown also has it spanning over 5 years, so we'll take it kind of chapter by chapter. I've also worked pretty closely with the department heads to make sure that everything is going to follow a structure that will work best for them, and we're not interfering with things that we don't know enough about to be interfering with. So thank you for hearing that. Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution 2026-26 passes. We got through this hefty agenda much faster than I thought we would. I'll go ahead and open the floor back up for public comments. Please be sure to limit them to 3 minutes. State your name and the ward or city in which you reside.
Sitting too long. Ruth Hamilton from Hoquiam, Washington. And I'm president of History 98520. Just want to thank the city council for your enthusiastic support of helping us move forward to one day having a museum in Aberdeen again. It means a lot to us, not just to our organization, but to all of our volunteers who work tirelessly to preserve and interpret history because it's so important. So just want to say thank you again.
Thank you, Ruth. Any other public comments for this evening? Okay, anything for the good of the order? Councilmember Wilson?
I saw a thing about, chalk art, and I just wanted to mention it, that I want to take that to the Arts Committee at the next, meeting, because, we thought that handing out big pieces of chalk and having kids do some chalk art downtown, that might be a way to gather some kids and have them have some fun, just an idea.
Thank you. Anything else for the good of the order?
I have something. Terry's also.
Thank you. Go ahead, Councilmember Gagan.
I would just like to point out that in all of my time of following anything political in the city, I've never seen a no vote on a committee vote before ever. And I just want to remind that we're supposed to remain nonpartisan. And I believe that those no votes were politically motivated and unnecessary. And I just wanted to go on the record that I thought that was disgusting.
Councilmember Hubbard?
I just wanted to say, I wanted to thank all of you for letting me attend this conference this week. I am having an amazing time. There have been some amazing sessions. I'm learning so many things I cannot wait to bring back. I had a session today specifically on youth topics, and I cannot wait to bring all of that back. And I look forward to seeing you all at the next meeting.
We're looking forward to hearing reports from you and Councilmember Moynihan and Mayor Orr when he returns. Anything else for the good of the order? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.